The MPA Capstone Project, the first draft of the primary memorandum. During the capstone seminar, you develop the capstone project in stages. This week, your assignment is to assemble the first draft of your primary memorandum. This media lecture provides advice about how to assemble and initially edit the memorandum. The primary memorandum has 7 major sections: introduction, assessment of the problem, literature review, stakeholder analysis, option specification, options analysis, and recommendation. Your project memorandum is like a sandwich. The top of the sandwich, shall we say the top of the muffin, is the introduction, and the bottom of the muffin is the recommendation. And then the ingredients go inside. In assembling your project, it is important to organize the document as a single coherent memorandum. Have smooth transitions between sections. Don't devote too much space and attention to one section, neglecting the others. Don't leave out key sections of your project. And don't exceed the 12-page limit. Once you've assembled the memorandum into a rough draft, you should complete a first revision. This media lecture presents some factors to consider in your first revision. A major factor involves the quality of your writing. There should be no errors of grammar, spelling, and punctuation. You should use appropriate vocabulary, sentence, and paragraph structure. Paragraphs should include topic sentences. The memorandum should present clearly stated positions that are thoroughly supported by logical reasoning. The analytical approaches used to arrive at the positions should be explained, and the writing should not be biased or opinionated. The project should be presented in a memorandum format. The memorandum begins by addressing the client. It provides the date, to, from, and the title of the project. The memorandum should have page numbers. And, of course, the memorandum should not be longer than 12 pages, including bibliography, appendices, anything else you want to add, no more than 12 pages. The memorandum should have headings and sections, usually corresponding to the 7 sections. You might skip the introduction section heading because this section obviously introduces the memo, so calling it an introduction is really probably not necessary. Memorandum sections that have tables, such as the option specification sections, should have a heading for the section, a paragraph introducing the section, the table, and then one or more paragraphs explaining material in the table that could not be explained in the table. How do you fit your tables into your pages? One technique is described here. Set the font sizes to 10 points in the interior, but you must maintain a 12-point font size on the side. Adjust the column widths so that the columns with more content are wider. And as a last resort, you can set the page in portrait mode. The following is an illustration of table formatting. Here you see a section in which options are being specified, and you see that the option specification section begins with a heading. It has an introductory paragraph, and then the summary of options table appears. Underneath the table would then be additional paragraphs that explain parts of the table that were not complete with the space that's available within the table. The following is another example of a table appearing within the document. Again, there's a heading, there's a paragraph, and then the table begins, and then the table is further explained by additional paragraphs that occur later on. It is necessary for your project to have a bibliography at the end. The bibliography is included in the page count, but it does not have to have its own page. The bibliography can begin right after the last paragraph in your memo, and so it doesn't have to have its own page. Appendices are discouraged. If you include an appendix, it has to fit within the 12-page limit. So, here's a hint. Don't have appendices. Cutting your memo back to 12 pages. First drafts of the primary memoranda typically exceed 12 pages, and so one of your challenges in the first edit of your project is to cut the memo back to 12 pages. Ways that you can accomplish this include editing down wordy sentences and paragraphs, summarizing some of the literature review material, adjusting your table formats to reduce their sizes, reducing the sizes of any graphics, and eliminating double spacing when not needed. In summary, organize the document as a single coherent memorandum. Have smooth transitions between the sections. Don't devote too much space and attention to one section, neglecting the others. Don't leave out key sections of your project. And don't exceed the 12-page limit. Thank you.